CS2 is hard. And through years and years, it has remained one of the most popular competitive shooters of all time. And yes, I know what you're thinking about the title, but just give me a minute to explain myself. You see, the first ever Counter-Strike came out on November 1st, 2000. And it didn't take long for competitive tournaments to start. I mean, the first ever Counter-Strike tournaments were before 9/11. And long before I was ever born. And this is why I believe it's the hardest game of all time, not in pubs and casual, but in competitive play. Now look, before you start roasting me in the comments, let me try to justify this. Now first off, I want to start with easier games and then get to the hard ones. And just a little vocab lesson before we start, here's everything you'll need to know. First off, no debate, CS2 is the most competitive shooter. I mean, just looking at this rank distribution, we can definitely see that the only people in the top ranks are pros, cheaters, and actually, wait, that's pretty much it. The only popular shooter I can maybe understand is Fortnite, which definitely has an extremely high skill ceiling, but definitely a lower skill floor in competitive. I mean, just look at this riveting gameplay. I mean, one of my friends is the highest rank in Fortnite, and he plays on controller. How many times have you been on Unreal?
Twice.
Twice? Yeah. So clearly it's not that hard. And other than Fortnite, the only other one I can think of is Call of Duty, which while actually having a competitive scene for a similar amount of time compared to CS, is definitely much less skilled. I mean, considering you don't even need to think of recoil control, movement and accuracy, and first shot and accuracy, the gunplay is really just shoot first and win. I mean, in my 10 years of COD, nothing has really changed in terms of gunplay, and a lot of these people like Diablo are getting pretty close to the skill ceiling, apart from only hitting headshots. And yes, Jinxie nerds, Siege is not that hard. Yes, it does require a lot of game sense, but a lot of it is holding angles and reaction time instead of actual good aim. And I would give you operator abilities, but most of them don't really have a lot of outplay potential other than a zombie and camera ops. And yep, looking at the statistics, this is proven. And I even found another graph that suggests that playtime is one of the most important factors in getting champ, which I would definitely agree with because of rank 2.0. And even looking at pro play, my point is proven, although you do obviously need amazing aim to compete at this level. Moving on to the harder ones, Valorant. In my opinion, Valorant's gunplay has a much lower skill ceiling because you do not need a counter strafe and there is no perfectly controlling recoil patterns. Now you could say operators increase the skill ceiling, but the CS flash is harder to use than any flash in Valorant, and really the only operators with a truly high skill ceiling are Astra and Yoru. At least when I played. And look, don't get me wrong, this is extremely difficult and definitely has some moments where it could be more skilled and harder than CS because of the ability to hit some insane ability combos. But I think for the most part, CS is harder. However, looking at the rank distribution statistics, I was actually kind of shocked at how few people were in Radiant, until I figured out Radiant is an exclusive rank, kind of like top 250 in COD. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like once you're Radiant, it's all about becoming more well known to become a pro player, while in CS, once you're face at 10, you now have to go through FPO. And you could argue that FPL is technically pro play, but what I'm considering as pro play is being on an actual roster like FaZe or something. So that Radiant distribution is definitely skewed. And this one is going to make a lot of people mad. Rocket League is, at least currently, easier than CS. Now I will 100% give it to you guys. Rocket League has the highest skill ceiling out of almost any game I can think of. I mean, just look at this absolute nerd gameplay. But hear me out. Rocket League is not yet harder than CS. I mean, we see these people like Zen absolutely smoking people, but just imagine what it will be like in a few years. I mean, this wasn't even 10 years ago, and these pro players are worse than most golds in the game now. But I don't think Rocket League is at a point yet where we can say it is harder than CS. I mean, a lot of these super sweaty Rocket League players are well-known content creators, while the average CS pro is some random Russian dude that's been playing the game 16 hours a day since he was 6 while rotting in his basement. And finally, the last game, League of Legends. Now, as somebody that only plays shooter games, I really wanted to just take the cop out of this game is trash, which after playing it, it kinda is. But I decided to try out League of Legends, and yeah, it didn't go too good. So anyways, after that, I can definitely say League of Legends is very difficult, even in casual. But honestly, hear me out, Counter-Strike has a higher skill ceiling. I mean, listen, feel free to correct me, but I just don't understand the hype behind this game. I mean, what really could raise the skill ceiling? Running away better? Oh, or maybe knowing how to buy better equipment? Like honestly, I feel like getting good at this game is just learning how to beat certain characters. I mean, I feel like I could be pretty good at this game if I just took the time to learn the basics. And I guess you could say every game is like that, but game sense seems to be the only real thing that matters in League. I mean, there's no real aim or movement, so the most important thing is knowing when to use abilities and what to buy. And I'm voicing this part after playing the game more, and the only thing that has made me feel better was just using a better character. I mean, honestly, this was before, and this was after. Now, I don't know if this character is just OP or if he just really counters Mordekaiser, but he feels objectively better than him, and it's not even close. And the combat in this game really feels like whoever accidentally misclicks the ground first loses. But honestly, this game is kind of fun and casual. Now, it might be like one of those things like Siege, where as soon as you start playing ranked, the entire game just feels miserable, but I gotta say, the hate on this game is not deserved. I mean, you guys should be hating on Overwatch, not League. But now to the skill competitive. After watching some Pro League games, I feel like everything I've said still stands, although I was definitely severely simplifying it. I mean, the first play I saw on a highlight reel was somebody just running away, which is a joke I made earlier before I even knew anything about the game. Also, I was kinda wrong, there is definitely some movement to dodge abilities, but nowhere near as much as some of the previous games. And so honestly, I believe that CS is the hardest game of all time. And if you think I'm wrong, disprove me. I mean, I'm definitely not well versed on many of these games, with the exception of Siege and maybe Call of Duty, so maybe I'm completely missing something, or maybe there's some random old game that you think is even harder. Oh, and sorry for not posting for a while. You think I'd have more time because of summer, but vacation. I was gonna make a video on Valorant console beta, but it's really just Valorant, and my rating that's pretty good. But all in all, Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine and dies is actually the hardest game of all time.
My tight little